that it can be made, and then we don't just let it stand on its own. You don't build a building just out of bricks. You got to have a lot of support work and foundation and structures and things to hold on. So we look at, okay, what's the end game that you're at? So here's the key ingredient, but here's another one that works towards that, and here's another that supports this other way. So we put them together so they have a synergistic effect on each other, and each one of them working perhaps even within different systems that are within the condition that you're working on, whether it be aging or it might be dementia or things like that. We have a multi-pronged attack for the different facets of it. Just think in your brain, how many different systems do you have there that are going? You have blood, you have oxygen, you have ganglia and neurons and so many biological processes, and there's 60,000 processes going on continuously in your brain. So it takes more than just one magic bullet, one product. So we know what those things are, and that's what we do. So let's talk about them here for a second. DW talked about vision, and I'm writing something up on vision because of what a distributor said, and people have no idea of the vision that went into our vision or Vital Vision product. And there's some things, it's primarily for the eyes, but it also has some secondary things. And if you listen closely, I'll just give you an idea. Because everybody's eyes deteriorate over time, and it starts to really begin in your late 20s, and by mid-40s, even the shape of your eyes is changing. That's why most people say, "Oh, I've always had good vision, now I got to wear glasses." Why is that? It's because biological processes within your body cannot maintain the round shape of your eye, so it sort of goes oval and collapses. That makes so the light that comes through where it registers on the retina, it moves from the central spot it should be, and it's registering further up it, so you get blurred vision with that kind of thing. Well, there are ingredients that you can take that can help maintain eye health. I have to say this thing very carefully because you can get into a drug claim real quick. And a drug is not what the ingredient is, it's what you say it does. I mean, even things like water or wheat could be, anything you can say wheat can cure a heart attack. Well, it can't, but you could say that. And then they say, oh, that's an illegal drug claim. So we have to be very careful because we're playing with a very aggressive bureaucracy and backed by big pharma and big medicine, and we're flying in the face of it because we don't want you to see your doctor. So anyway, your eyes, the shape is changing. And also the other thing that happen with eye bags too, you have the eyes are very vulnerable, so they have a bunch of pillows. They're made of fat that are all around the eye to cushion it. But as you get older, the fat in those starts to diminish, and the fluid around them starts coming out, and they collapse down, and there's where you get your eye bags, right there from that. And it's all a part of the evolutionary process with it. And by the time you're in your 50s, that's when macular degeneration takes place. It's deteriorating away, and cataracts are forming. You get all those kinds of things, and those are the two biggest causes of blindness, is macular degeneration and cataracts. Can they be avoided? Yeah, I think they can. And we're not going to prevent it, but the body has the ability to do it if you give it the proper nutrients so it can function right. That makes sense, doesn't it? And that's what we've done with this. And then you start seeing, as people get older, you start seeing particles that are forming in their eyes, and it becomes more cloudy, and it also affects their vision with it. But then, even if you had 20/20 vision when you're younger, by the time you're 40 or 50, you have had a lot of environmental damage. Think of this. UV light is one of the greatest damagers to your skin and other things, but it goes right into your eyes. So you have pigmentation in your eyes, and as you see people that are getting older, they don't have the bright clear color they did when they're younger. Why? Because it's rusted away. It's been oxidized by UV light. So that is happening now, and so you have all of these accumulated damage that comes and is building upon itself, and then you get to a certain point, it becomes, you become aware of it because changes are happening. So if you have 20/20 vision, what should you do? I'd say buy Vital Vision, because you want to do everything you can to keep it just as good as possible. The other thing that's very important for eyes that if I was going to put together a complement, would be the age pill, because stem cells are so important, and this supports stem cell building stem cells, maintaining them, and also helping your eyes to literally grow younger. And the other is omega oils. They say that's fish oil, but that's only part of it. That's why we have Super Omega Plus. There's 3 types of omega oils that are extremely good for your eyes. Well, we know the age pill can come on, and it has a great effect for the eyes, but it does for other parts of the body. Same thing with Super Omega Plus. We have 3 different types of omegas, and in some things, it starts from krill. Fish don't create omega oils. What they do is algae grows, and that has an omega oil. Then krill, little shrimp-like creatures, feed on that, and they create a different variety of omega-3 oils. And then fish feed on the krill, and they create a different type of omega oils. But it all starts with algae. So which is the best? Well, it depends on what it's for. In some things, algae is 40 times better than either krill or fish oil. And in other things, krill is 60 times better than either algae or fish oil. And so if you put them all together, what do you have? A synergistic thing. And then we have a lot of other things. And as the eyes deteriorate, there's a whole new science that's out there. And there's a couple of really key ingredients. One of them is called AREDs. They call them carotenoids, but they're special blends. And they are so vital for the eyes. The eyes just gobble them up to keep itself healthy with it in so many different ways. Because of the time, I won't go through all of that. But AREDs, we've got that in ours, and usually you can't find one that does, and if you do find one, it's just AREDs, and that's incomplete. So we have a lot of things in our Vital Vision to support lots of other functions too. And then we have a thing called asenaxin, and we have lutein. Those are very powerful compounds. So this formula is extremely powerful, but asenaxin is also has another purpose. It supports the activation of the longevity gene, not just in your eyes, but in other parts of the body, especially in the brain. But in the eyes, it's really great with it. And with these kinds of things, you want to keep your pigment of your eyes good, not just so they look good, but so they're functioning. And this whole formula goes and is designed and providing the nutrients that we believe the eyes need in order to maintain its health and to, with its own natural processes, to keep that eye healthy and functioning the way it should be. Now, by the time you're 80, if you've been on our products from when you had 20/20 vision, what's your vision going to be? I can't tell you, but I can tell you I believe it will be much, much better. And I won't give you my advanced age, but I don't wear glasses, only if something's really teeny with it. But at one time, I was getting up to 2.5 power, but that's gone now. So you have those kinds of things. So there's one product, and sorry, DW, I went through all these, but let me hit you on a couple you hadn't thought of. How many of you women are worried about breast cancer? And you men too, because your loved ones get it. Well, we have really a secret weapon that supports the body in its fight against it, and it's called Inner Chi for Her. And Inner Chi for Her has a thing called the lignin. And our product hasn't been tested. We can't say that it does it, but if you looked up what this particular lignin does, it attaches to the receptors that are destroyed and get mutagenic damage to create breast cancer. But the science shows, our product cannot show that. We cannot say it because it takes 15 years and costs a couple $1 billion to make the claim. So we can tell you about the ingredients, you can look at it, and then you can make your conclusion if you want. But on the single ingredient of this type of lignin, and there's a number of types, this type, what it does is they say, this should literally bulletproof most people against breast cancer unless they're right into the stages of it. Cure breast cancer? No, but provide what the cells need to maintain their health and to fight that. So lignins are in it. The other thing which is so extremely important for women is every woman over 40, and many before that, but every woman over 40 has metabolic syndrome. And you may not understand metabolic syndrome, but you ought to look it up and see what it does because it's devastating to you. And yet if you see women, there's a few, about 5% of the Asian population, they can get quite old and they have gorgeous hair, gorgeous skin, bright eyes, all of those things, healthy, slimmer, all of that, because with these Asian women, they have a certain enzyme in their system that can convert certain types of nutrients from some ingredients that which we know of course, I won't go through all that for time, but it converts it into what's an ingredient called equal, E-Q-U-O-L. Equal supports the body system as it fights to remain healthy and to overcome, or not to overcome, but, well, you'll have to determine that for yourself. But for metabolic syndrome, it is so powerful, and if you read on it, now all these things are put together in the same product, and there's things like for pre or postmenopausal, fabulous, good health, weight loss, energy, and healthier body, all because of Equal. So that's pretty powerful. But guys, we haven't forgot you. We have Energy for Him, and Energy for Him has Equal in it too, because as you're getting older, a couple of things happen to you, and one of it is that you really start to convert a lot of the testosterone that is in your body into estrogen, and it's a natural process that occurs. Now, the estrogen that's in your body, of course, is more feminizing, but the testosterone builds muscle and bones and energy and all of those kinds of things. So if it's readily converted to estrogen by the aging process that's there, we have an ingredient in there, Equal, that is there that will support the body system that keep testosterone strong and keep it from converting over. Now, we're not preventing, we're just supporting the body in these functions so that this process, which the body is trying to fight but doesn't have the right nutrients, now suddenly you do. So a couple of things come in with that. One of it is virility. That can help a great deal. But a lot of men have, prostate issues with it, prostate enlargement. But there's some compounds, particular types of what they call beta-cysterols, that are great for prostate health, and even support the body's fight to shrink prostate or to keep it normal and healthy. Now look at all of that in one product. So here's another example of multifaceted systems. So you have that. Now I'm about out of time, but I want to talk about one more. See, I'm talking about things you're not ordinarily using. Number one, let me tell you this. If you're not using our toothpaste and our mouthwash, you're doing things that are damaging your eyes, your brain, and it is a great agent in increasing heart attack with you from gum disease, pyorrhea, and almost everything creates that. Our toothpaste does not. So it's not necessarily preventing it, it's that your body creates it, and what we have is products that won't allow that kind of thing to occur because it's not in the nature of the ingredients, where other toothpastes have things that denature proteins and it's just eating it up and everything deteriorates and it has a huge effect. Studies, I believe, are about 30% greater of having a heart attack by what you use to brush your teeth. So we've avoided all that. So you do that because there's something connected to your brain, infections in your brain from that, all that type of thing. So you can see how just a simple thing like toothpaste, if you're not using our toothpaste, you're doing yourself a disservice. The last one I'm going to talk about, which is one that a lot of people don't realize, but it's called 4Restore and what it can do. 4Restore is an amazing product because the first thing it does is it creates a lot of nitric oxide. The body produces nitric oxide. It builds virility for men. It builds strength and integrity in muscle and bones for men and women. It improves the circulation, supports the improvement of circulation through your entire cardiovascular system. It supports it where it will vasodilate. In other words, it will increase in size in blood vessels and arteries and things like that. So the amount of blood flowing through it now has less pressure going through it, and it's more permeable to remove toxins from the bodies and also to bring nutrients to the body. And if that wasn't enough, it has other features in it that we're doing to support as precursors. One of the things that really goes down is your growth hormones as you get older, and HGH, human growth hormone, growth factors, pineal hormones, hormone-secreting hormones, hypothalamus hormones that are created. All of those things, hormones are really what regulates and controls our processes, but that really goes down. So I have fortified 4Restore with all of these kinds of things that work for that as precursors, just as like in our Age product, we have precursors to make NAD. Well, we have precursors in this to support the hormones that you need for your body that are deteriorating greatly. So you think you're going to feel a lot better with this? You bet. You'll feel the tingling if you take them. You take 3 or 4. You'll feel the tingling for a while, and don't think it's a rash. What it is your cardiovascular system dilating. It puts a little pressure on nerves, and you feel, oh, I feel like I've got an itch, or I might have a little bit of burn. It only lasts for about 15 minutes or so, and then it's gone. But man, has it done a world of good. It's like flexing your muscles. You flex your muscles as you lift, they get stronger. You flex your cardiovascular system, your veins and all those types of things. Of course it gets stronger and better. And where it's getting brittle and old and getting ready to leak and cause a stroke or any other type of thing, but the ability to keep that from happening all depends on the nutrients you have, and we have those in it. I won't go through much more on that one, but I'm going to publish something here pretty quick. It'll be quite astounding to you. Those of you that come to Mower Mountain, I'm going to have very detailed studies on this and some of the other things that we're doing. But if you're not on our toothpaste, if you're not on Vital Vision, if you're not on 4Restore, if you're not on Inner Chief or her or him, you're not supporting certain systems within your body that these ingredients, I believe, are vital to support as precursors or nutrient and ingredients to give you extraordinary results. So it's your choice. It's your body. The more you do, the better it is. The ability now to live to a great length of age at a much younger age is here. The death of aging is at hand, and the age pill and other things are the instrument of its destruction. Who has this approach? If you take a look at how this, and this is what I'm going to try and do at Mower Mountain, is bring out this, okay, what are all the factors that have to do with aging in your body that you want to affect? How about eyes? How about your brain? How about the telomeres? Maybe you don't even know what telomeres are. They're the ones that tell the cells when to divide, and as they wear out, as you get older, the cells don't divide as fast. So less cells, less of you, see? And so all of these kinds of factors that are there, I'm going to give a great detailed explanation of those at Mower Mountain, and we'll try and make it as reproducible as possible and some literature to help you. But for those of you that are going to be, I think, lucky enough to be there, you're going to, I'll tell you what, if it doesn't blow your gourd, you haven't got one, because this son of a gun, this is going to be a power-packed thing. And then I'm going to do a little futurizing, and I'm going to tell you about a few things that are coming out and a couple that we're looking at. And we have sensational products with transfusium and rapid repair. But we're going to put those like they're on steroids with new things. In fact, as I'm toying with an idea that if you don't see a visible change in your skin, you don't see it within 14 to 30 days, then send it back in. We'll give you your money back. That's what we're thinking about doing. That's also a dangerous thing, because some people I've tried stuff like that, and they say, well, I needed the money, so I sent it back in. Well, that's not honest. That's not fair. But I might try it for a while. Because you know why I'm going to try it? It's not that I want to hype you on it. It's because the ingredients on it will perform extraordinarily fast, and you can see changes coming into your skin that you won't believe. And do you know that your skin has an age gene? And when that happens, you get to a certain point in your life, that age gene is activated by the damage that's done to your skin, and that's what causes creping in skin. That's what causes wrinkles and sagging in skin, because it pulls itself in the areas that are damaged to try and protect itself, and that forms a wrinkle, etc. And of course, then you have eye bags with a lot of different factors we haven't talked about. We're going to address all that, but I have a product coming out, and I don't know what to call it. Right now I'm calling it Age Switch, and what it has is ingredients that supports the skin. Now, we can get to the skin easy from the outside, but it supports the skin to turn off the age switch. Tell me that's not revolutionary. And then when you have the other things to give massive fortification to all the processes of having young skin and viable and collagen and elastin and moisture and thickness and flexibility, these formulas are pretty well that now, but we're taking it to a point no one has ever even conceived as possible, and that's going to happen, and it's going to happen within months. So do you want to sit on your rear? You want to be a couch potato watching the world go by? Well, guess what? It's going to go by so fast, and you're going to see people, you're going to take a look at them 20 years from now, if you haven't done it, you say, oh my God, you're younger than I am by far. Of course. The choice is yours. It's up to you. And as the saying is, if it's to be, it's up to me. So it is. But you got us. We're here. We're doing it like it's never been done before. We have the greatest company in the history of network marketing, and we have the greatest products, I believe, in the history of human health. Pharmaceuticals, natural ingredients, things like this. Ours are all based on natural, but they are spectacular, and some of them no one else is using, and things they can do was utterly 5 years ago thought to be impossible, even some a couple of years ago thought to be impossible. Now it is possible, it is plausible, and we're doing it, and you alone will have your hands on this opportunity with these products, with this tremendous compensation plan we have. And all you have to do is get out, recruit, create change, and facilitate their success. So I went over, sorry, but that's my message for today. Back to you, DW.